They say we are one. 1967 up till now, Lord everywhere. They massacre us at will. What have we done? Lanuto, farewell our heroes, farewell our heroes. We shall meet again. Lanuto, farewell our heroes, farewell our heroes. We shall meet again.
So many have died because of freedom. Many heroes are gone because of freedom. So many killing and burning because we wanna go. And why the whole world silent when we are murdered?
For massacre, for Saba massacre all the way. It touches my heart when I hear of rumors of war all the way. Why this killing, why this bombing in our homeland? Ikonsa is gone, oh no no, which way forward? Oh na na, they say we are one. 1967 up till now, Lord everywhere. They massacre us at will. What have we done? Lanuto, farewell our heroes, farewell our heroes. We shall meet again. Lanuto, farewell our heroes, farewell our heroes. We shall meet again.
Hasina habo police, hasina habo SAS. Akono habo inara madondo ya nike. Hasina habo military, hasina habo SWAT. Ibabu madon na tosi kwa haka sugar cane. Waneke away all these herdsmen. Na bari na line just the west souls. Hani bwayi no people, hani bwayi na ba. Ise puti ise bwage la kanai. Habonye lumu wanya nyeba na lole rebo. Hababu hana merie dia sweat. Opuzigini meroji wedi rotua. Our pampas governors yere haruka. Ebido mewe killing up na libo. We chapo all the herdsmen na libo. Ikoso na many yamene kaladere du. Ndi sabunti ikesi na hama unkwenu. Obuzo demma na other governors. I swear to God, uno chage kweta very soon. Abiga gwade jina no rejele. Makatupo reje wano rejigoya na ho.
Blood flows in our land everywhere. Na so bloodshed. Yeah, my heart they bleed. Pregnant women in the farm they slaughter them. Cut out their woman parts. Yeah, these are what we are seeing. They kill us at import, they kill us at on nature war. Na so kill it. My people na so blood they flow in Biafra land. Hey.
Yeah, it's already 6 p.m. here in Anambra State, and people are beginning to come out. Movement are beginning to show face. But in the morning, it was a complete total lockdown. This is what happened in the morning. The Biafran flag was hosted here in the morning, and it was a complete total lockdown. Even rats were not moving. But right now, since people already coming out to see what happened, and nothing really happened. So we felt so happy that there was a successful sit at home, and there were no casualties today, and everywhere is smiling. You know, the flag was hosted in the morning. You can see the flag. So people are beginning to come out and to feel the weather, the breeze. That's just it for today. So it was really a success. No rats come out today. No rats come out today. Man, it's already 6 p.m. so I'm only following authorities. Say 6 p.m. so it's a complete shutdown today. And night businesses are beginning to come out. You can see people selling food. They're beginning to show face. But this one, Anambra State ban keke and shuttle by 7 p.m. So once it's 7 p.m., no show again. So this is the state of Anambra State right now.
All right, this is Umwa here at the moment. You can see people are observing the sit-at-home order, and you can see that the road is so deserted. So deserted, the shops are closed. The shops are closed, and you can see this filling station here. On a normal day, it's always crowded with people and vehicles that want to, purchase fuel. So let's take it a little bit close to BCA. So this is BCA Road. For those of you who are familiar with Umuahia, so we're just trying to bring to you the situation on ground in Umuahia. In case for these of us who are not in Umuahia, you can see, you hardly see anybody on the road. Hardly see anybody on the road. So that's the popular De Latinos event center. So you can see this is the Jovit. This is Jovit, and that's down Azikiwe Road. You can see the way it is right now. Okay, we are taking through Secretariat. Because I'm actually going to work, so I'm not going to cover everywhere.
Hello, good evening, everybody, fellow Biafrans. Good evening. I want to welcome, without wasting much of our time, Mazi Solomon. Good evening from here. You're welcome to the program. You're welcome to the program, Mazi Solomon.
Thank you so much, Mazipat, for bringing me to the program. This morning, I greet Biafran all over the world, lovers of freedom. I bring greeting to you from here, Australia. Thank you so much, Mazipat. My name is Solomon Peter. It is a pleasure for me to be in this program again this morning, as we are still in the mood of remembrance. And we continue to our prayer in the book of Psalm has been introduced by our leader, because this period of time required both physical and spiritual preparation. And that is the only where we can find completion, when we are spiritually equipped and physically equipped. Then we can be able to mash our enemies and restore Biafra as it is in our mind. So thank you very much. I will be doing few analysis of issues here, and some political undertones and some political statements that are being made by people who are constitutionally elected by the people of their state. Though there is no election in Nigeria, it is selection, but for them occupying that very post, constitution, the fraudulent constitution of Nigeria recognized their position. And through that arm and through that very means, they are also accepted diplomatically in the world state. So we must check their statement and put it into check and balance and do analysis, because that matters enough. That matters so much. Very important, because most of these very people, they are sitting down on the destinies of our people. So they are the people of interest, and we must talk about them. And we must not also forget to thank God for a successful sit at home yesterday, no collateral damage, and there is no much casualties. We thank the God, Chukwukike Abiyama, who is leading his people, and the compliance of our people into the sit at home is also commendable. This is also a referendum of its own. The world can see that we really need Biafra. And these are the will of the majority. And this cannot be underrated. Thank you so much, Mazipat. You are my moderator. I hand over to you. So we proceed.
Thank you very much, Mazi Solomon. From the clip we've seen all day, the 30th, 31st, obviously, of May 2021 have proven again to be a very wonderful, successful exercise for our people. Mazi, do you think that we are making progress, that the message is sinking in from what we saw today?
Okay, it all depends on what progress mean to anyone. It all depends what success or progress mean to anyone. But if I will talk based on background of IPOP and what IPOP wanted to achieve, it is a very huge success. It's a very huge progress. We are moving forward. Our people are buying into the idea and the ideology. Our peoples are now getting the message across, and it is really proving that this is the will of the people. This is the desire of the people. So for IPOP, under the leadership of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, that is a huge success, because our intention is not to demoralize anyone or deprive anyone of anything, but the intentions of IPOP is to bring our people to the point where they can rightfully stand up, where they can come together and stand up to demand for what is rightfully belongs to them. And we are achieving that. We are achieving that. And you will find it in most of the political statements by the governors of the states, of different states. You will find it from their statement. And I will tell you reason why. Because anything any individual is saying have a reason, and we must analyze things from their own point of view and position. These are the people that are shamed, bound by a fraudulent constitution that impose dangers into to their life, to their families, and to their career. That if eventually they can come out boldly to speak the truth, so many of them might end up in jail, and so many of them might equally be killed or being assassinated. And some will also lose the position that they are occupying right now. And some of them can be tagged for treason, and some of them also can be tagged any criminal offense. and they will be punished in the present constitution or the state of Nigeria. So they are being careful at the same time, acknowledging the position they are occupied, because they are not Biafran. They are not. They don't represent the constitution of Biafra. They represent Nigeria. They are Nigerian agents. So therefore, they do everything possibly to make sure that they are not too direct. So we'll be analyzing those points. So let for my own analysis as to regard to what happened in 31st is that IPOP are making progress, and the message which IPOP are sending to our people are going across the land, and our people are buying into it, and this is a right things to do. So we have come to that very point where we can prove to the whole world that actually this is our will, and this is what we want, and we keep making progress, because success has no destination. It is continuous progress that is called success. Thank you, Mazipat.
Yeah, thank you very much. Mazi, we've seen people coming to make certain comments that majority of the people who obeyed the sit at home did that out of fear of being molestation, fear of molestation or being harassed. Is it true? Because we know that over the year, people have been sitting at home. It's not the first sit at home. How do you address the issue of people saying, oh, they sat at home because they were afraid of IPOB harassing them on the road?
Yes. Actually, there is nothing that that will happen that people will not give their own. Remember, everybody is entitled to his own opinion or her own opinion. We have freedom of speech. People are free to aim their own opinion or express their own feeling. But the truth remains that IPOP achieved what they want. So if you, like as Paul said in the Bible, some people preach the gospel because of envy, because of their stomach, and some people they preach because they want to enrich themselves, and some people are sincerely preaching the gospel. But what matters is that at the end of the day, whether you preach it out of envy or out of jealous or whatever way, at the end, then the gospel of Christ
they have been preached.
have
Beautiful.
been preached.
Let's take this clip without wasting much of your time. You've said it all. Let's take this clip, please.
I asked you about the sit-at-home order in by IPOB in some southeast. Could you just touch on that quickly before we go on the break?
Well, with all due respect, I've said it before and I'll continue to say it, IPOB cannot make an order to say sit-at-home order in Rivers State. I've said so clearly before. Because it does not exist in Rivers State. Rivers State is not part of Southeast. I've always said that. Rivers State is South-South. We're neither. So, I am not saying whether the people of the Southeast should not obey what IPOB has said or not. But they cannot give order to Rivers people that we should sit at home. No, it is not possible. And that's what I've always said. I'm not against IPOB activity in the Southeast, because they have the right to whatever they are doing with their people. But as far as Rivers State is concerned, we are not part of it. So you cannot give an order when we are not part of whatever that you are doing. How does it work? It doesn't work that way. It doesn't work. It's like that saying that there are Igbo people, there are Southeasterners who are staying in Lagos. Therefore, IPOB will give a sit-at-home order in Lagos, saying nobody should move. There are Igbo people staying in Kano. IPOB should go and make a sit-at-home order in Kano that nobody should move in Kano. No, it is not acceptable. It is never done. So IPOB, for me, and I've said it, whether anybody likes it or not, whether anybody wants to kill me, I do know. Yes, one must die one day, but you must have to speak out and say, this is not acceptable. Our people are not part of it. So you cannot give order to people who are not part of what you are doing. How does it work? When they get that order, did anybody obey it in Rivers State? Because it will not work, because we're not part of them. And that is the truth of the matter.
Mazi, what do you have to respond to what Ezemoye Sowike have to say on the sit-at-home order by IPOB?
Thank you very much, Mazipat, for bringing up this very issue. As I said earlier, we must understand the position of these politicians. They are really the agents of Nigeria. We must know for that. They are bound by the fraudulent constitution of Nigeria. In the position of Wike, he will not like to go against the constitution or the position that is actually putting food on his table. Everybody could also in the same way protect whatever thing that from where he's aiming living. But even in the constitution of Nigeria, as it was said, we the people, which is fraudulently because we the people did not write the constitution of Nigeria. Wike also here, who is being elected under the fraudulent constitution of Nigeria, are saying we the people. Until referendum is being conducted, because you cannot force your will on a people. You cannot force your will on a people. Wike might represent some political people, political class people in River State by saying what he's saying, but does it mean that this is actually the will of all the people in River State or the will of the people of the River State? No, but in his position, he has to make these political statements and a political claim. But the fact remains that Ikwere people are not being forced into Biafra. We still in the campaign that Ikwere people will be part of Biafra through referendum. We still in the regard that Ikwere people should be part of Biafra through proper consultation. Because why is consultation? Because they themselves saying we are included and we are not. They might be right, they might be wrong. But the truth is that the reason why they are included is because geographically, there is no way you can create a nation in that very area as it is geographically positioned without actually including those people in the River area. So it's an open door for negotiation. What is important is not what Winke wants, but what is important is the thing that addresses the concern of Ikwere people. What addresses the concern of Ikwere people? Has the Ikwere been treated well in Nigeria? No. Did they have issues bothering them as being in Nigeria? Yes. How could those issues be addressed? Now we introduce the argument of Biafra. So negotiation will start from there. What is important is how to address the problem that faces Ikwere people as being in Nigeria. Will Biafra address it? That is where negotiations start. So we have already started the disagreement, which is the agitation for restoration of Biafra, which is the argument we put on the table, disagreement. So now people of Ikwere people has to step up. What did they want? What is their concern that needed to be addressed? They need to get involved. And the handful of Ikwere people are involved. They want to address.
Mazi Solomon, yes, Wike said that IPOB does not exist in River State. Is that true in your own understanding?
We must understand.
Is it trying to cover the truth that there are Ikwere people who also believe in Biafra?
Mazi, Mazi, there is no people. Remember, there is something Mazi Nanekanu said yesterday. Let me analyze from there. That he has learned that the way British deal with people is first of all trying to demoralize you. You see the Punch newspaper reporting about the sit at home. They first of all say proscribed IPOB. So this IPOB proscribed was done is a conspiracy to make sure that anybody who is illegally occupied in any office in Nigeria could not have anything publicly to do with a proscribed group in Nigeria. then if you do, you will be criminalized. So they try to demoralize IPOP so that they can be able to detach politicians and politicians who will want to see some reason from what IPOP is presenting. And we must understand that Wike is a politician. He's speaking as a politician. And there is no way he can come down to the level of speaking the language that IPOP is speaking. Or because they have already make it, they have already tried to demoralize the people so that people like Wike cannot come openly to say he recognized IPOP. That is just the truth there. But the fact remains that Wike, in his speech, does he represent Ikwere people? No, he does not represent. I'm saying because of his climb. He does not represent Ijaw people. He's just the governor of the state. That he is in that very position to just be there for 4 years, and after 4 years,
And
then he go out and
possibly 8 years.
or
And
possibly
leave
8
office.
years and they leave office. So the fact remains that him being the governor of River State, the question you will be answered: does his position address the concern of Ikwere people in being in Nigeria? No. Call a Ijaw man or call Ikwere man. Everybody is crying for being in Nigeria. Ikwere people have not been treated well in Nigeria. The same with Ijaw people. They all have a bigger concern as being in Nigeria. And this is what we should be focusing on, not political statements.
Now, Mazi,
On
on that note, let's take another clip of Omo Agege and the position of Urobo people as well when it comes to the issue of Biafra.
We started seeing maps being drawn up that includes the Urobo nation as part of the Republic of Biafra. Now, these are maps that are being drawn up by IPOB and Masob and this guy, their latest hero. You get it right there. Now, let me just state this up front. Everyone has a right to agitate for their people. Nobody will sit down and say the Igbos do not have a right to agitate for themselves. The union we have today, the Nigerian union as it is today, the Nigerian project, is not a perfect union. Everybody should strive to correct those imperfections. So I respect their right to self-determination. I respect their right to agitate on behalf of their people. What we will not countenance, is for them, without consulting the Urobo people, to swear mutu on their own, include Urobos as part of their map of the Republic of Biafra. And what even made it all the more insulting to us as Urobos is that, unlike maybe Anioma, that maybe was part of the Biafran Republic, are you getting it right? Because of that stakeholdership and kindredship, with the Urobos, we don't have that. We were never part of the Republic of Biafra. We are not now.
Mazi, there is a noise coming from your background. I think you have to look at that.
That's what it's all about. So we're not fighting the Igbo people. We respect their right to agitate. And frankly, if you ask me, this country has been unfair to them. But not just them alone. Even we. You must recall that Nigeria began with 3 regions.
Mazi, there is a noise. There is a noise on your background that is not creating some kind of friction, and I just would wish you are able to address that, please, before I return back to the clip that we were playing.
Mazi, the noise has been addressed. Are you still hearing the noise?
Yeah, I'm still hearing the noise. I hope that you take care of it.
I don't know. There is nothing absolutely making noise around me here. So I'm not sure. You should also check at your end. I don't have anything making noise. Let me listen to you in the Facebook and see. I don't know. There is nothing. Mazi, there is no noise in the Facebook.
Okay,
The noise might.
Okay, now let's return. Let's return back to the clip.
The north, the east, the west, and subsequently the Midwest region. Indeed, the Midwest region, which is today Delta and Edo, which became Bendel, that is the only region that was constitutionally created. The others were by fiat. The northern region was by fiat from the colonialists. So too the west, so too the east. But ours was created as a result of referendum by the people in a constitutional manner. So I'm saying this for purpose of history. As we speak right now, the north, which was one region, is now 17 states or 19 states. I don't know, I think 19 states. It's now 19 states. The west, that was one region, is now
Maz, I think we just have to move on because he has made the point that I think we needed to get from his statement that the Urhobos, kind of seek that formal consultation to make a decision to be part of Biafra. What is your take on what Senator Omo Agege have said so far?
Yes. One, he said everybody has a right to agitate for what he wants or what she wants for their people.
For their people,
Now,
yes.
yes, the fact is that Agege make a point here. He said that Yoruba people want a proper consultation. That they doesn't have problem in forming an alliance with the Igbos, but they want a proper consultation. But the fact is this: Agege is seeing what his people want, but he is not pushing for that. Who is going to initiate that kind of that kind of consultation that
The
he wanted?
process. The
The
process.
process of that kind of consultation that he wanted. Who is going to initiate it? Because he should be somebody in his position to initiate what his people want, to initiate it, initiate that consultation. Because the reason why you are included in that very place and also in a column under referendum, you are included. That is consultation. So it is now your right to rise up, ask a proper question, initiate a discussion that you wanted your people to have as to regard to this very campaign, because it is not must. It is not must. It's under referendum. So it is in the responsibility of Yoruba people to rise up and ask questions. Why are we included? And what are the negotiation here? Then, because what is important is not what is good for Agege as a Senate President of Nigeria, which is Nigeria agent, but we are looking at what is good for a common Yoruba man, for Yoruba people. What is good for them? Their concern in Nigeria is the reason why they are included in Biafra map, to discuss their concern, to negotiate in alongside with their concern, for them to sit down instead of being overrun or being under the access of their state and their environment and land being seized by a fraudulent constitution. Can they be involved? Can their concern be addressed? That's why they are there. So they need to initiate that very consultation or asking of question. How does this man?
Yeah, I think Maz is out for a while. I don't know what the problem is, but I hope he returns back. I think it's a question of the network. And in that clip, I think Omo Agege himself have admitted that Nigeria have not even treated the Urobo people well, just like every other person. Omo Agege have admitted that the Nigerian state have been very unfair to the people of Urobo, and I think it's enough for him to find a way to liaise with his people to find a solution, having admitted that the Nigerian state have not been fair to him and his people. We've seen this issue of consultation being raised at all time. The issue of consultation being raised at every given opportunity, especially when it has to do with the some people in the River Rhine who feel that they need to bring cola nut, bring drink, bring goat meat, bring chicken for them, before they join the agitation for their own personal freedom, as if somebody have to beg them, somebody have to kneel down for them, somebody have to cry for them to fight for their own freedom. So it's very, very unfortunate that, Mazi Solomon, you're
Yes,
welcome. I
I
know
am back.
you're
I am
back.
back.
I know
Yeah,
you're
there is
back. There
something
is a
that
question.
there is a statement you made here that I
Yes.
need to put correction to it. Okay.
Okay, go ahead,
Now,
Mazi.
the correction you need to make is that the people that are carved as a southeast now region in Nigeria, let's just leave it there so that people will understand what I'm saying. They are not all Biafran agitators or under the leadership of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu or any other pro-Biafrans who draw a map and they include Yoruba people are not actually doing favor to Yoruba people. And the Yoruba people saying we don't want to be part of it through referendum are not actually doing favor to the people they don't want to be part of. These are all borders around what people feel like it can solve their problem. It borders around and is going to be under a very simple agreement between people based on interest. The reason for Biafra is to free people from the bondage they find themselves, both Ikwere people, both Yoruba people, to free them from the bondage they find themselves in Nigeria, who was not able to address their core problems for over 60 years. The core problem of Yoruba man was not addressed. The core problem of Ikwere man was not addressed in Nigeria. This is why you are included in Biafra, so that discussion can start around the issues that bothers your people. How do we get it right in a new constitution, in a new republic? Even Agege said that Nigeria is not a perfect union. How do you address those issues that are not perfect and not good in Nigeria? It seemed impossible. So therefore, you must know that it's for the interest of Yoruba people to initiate any discussion or to raise up any of concern, of which Agege is doing here, no proper consultation. Now, who initiate it? Can Agege initiate that proper consultation because he knows what it's all about? Can he initiate it? We need to talk. We need to discuss. We need to write agreement. We need to sign treaties. All these things has to be done. Because already the best that IPOP under the leadership of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu can do is to include you so that discussion can begin. You are not cut off. You are not cut off out of discussion. Yoruba people should come forward. If we should be part of this, look at our demand. Or let's discuss. If you include us in this thing, okay, let's come together and let's start discussing it. What is important is the total freedom of Yoruba man. Total freedom, where Yoruba man can be happy, where a nation, where Yoruba man can be proud of, and every core problem of Yoruba man being addressed.
Mazi Solomon, now the bone of contention is it the Biafran people that should be going to Yoruba people to seek their hand in this union? Or is it the Urobos that should be coming? Or are we going to find a way to move hard? Since they said they need consultation, do we need to take some cola nut and hot drink? We know that our Urobo brothers love hot drink. Do we have to take some gallons of
no.
hot drink to them.
Mazipat, look at it. This is a political and stroke social issue. There must be equity and balance. If IPOB or Biafrans, let me talk about IPOB, which I belong. Other organizations exist who are pro-Biafrans. Then, if Biafrans see the opportunity to satisfy the issue of proper consultation that the Yoruba people are demanding, they should go for it. There is no superior and inferior here. If Yoruba people seize the opportunity to go for proper consultation with others who were included in this Biafran project, they should go for it. What I am saying here is that if proper consultation is what they needed, they should find it in equality. That is not that superior people are coming to inferior people or inferior people going. That it is equality.
No, Max,
Everybody can.
I haven't raised that. I haven't raised the issue of this issue of superior or inferior. When it comes to the debate, what I'm trying to say is now the Robo people have admitted that Nigeria haven't treated them well, and they are seeking for consultation. This is not the first time we've had some of our Robo brothers saying we need to be consulted. We need to be consulted. Now, my question is it now left to them to tell us the kind of consultation? Because they keep on telling us we need to be consulted without giving us definition of the kind of consultation. Because when you say I need to be consulted, and these are things you need to do to consult me, that is what I'm saying.
Mazi Pat, as this agitation is gaining weight, is escalating, people are coming with their concern. Do you know that what Wike was saying about Niger Delta, about their region, is also a concern? It is our responsibility to sit down with all this concern and know where we have not actually affected or touched the people. We must not while it away. Our interest is to have a Biafran that Irobo is included and the Ijo is included in equal basis. So therefore, if they raise concern, it is on our responsibility. You cannot shy it away. We cannot kick it away. Their concern is that they want more of sitting, sit with the people who were organizing this. They want to know the clear intentions, who are behind this, and so many concerns they have to raise. Because remember that if you come out now and say Irobo people come out and say they are Biafra, remember that the same military that is being moved to Imo State now is going to be moved into Irobo people, and it is Irobo people who are going to die. So they must defend what they are really sure of. So any of the concern these people are raising should be followed up. We should be able to create a department who is actually looking into people's concern. If an Ijo man say, I am not being consulted, but that means he has a concern. So we should, in this agitation, as is growing, because we are not in the same stage, we are moving. We should have such a department that have that diplomacy of sitting down with the people, let them ask their questions. Because if Mountain did not go to Mohammed, Mohammed will go to Mountain. We must know that it's part of our responsibility who want Biafra restored and who want Biafra that include Irobos, who want Biafra that include Ikwere, who want a Biafran that addresses the challenges that Irobo man has ever faced in Nigeria. A Biafran that Irobo man will be proud of and be happy. So whether they initiate it or the people who are running the affairs of IPOB or the affairs of Biafran agitation initiate such thing is a concern that are being raised. is a concern. We should not shy it away.
So Maz, what you are saying is that there should be some sort of environment that should be created to start. But I think that over the years, we have seen, some kind of consultation made too by our leader Mazin Nnamdi Kanu, using every platform available. Do you think that more need to be done in this
Yes.
area of consultation?
Mazi, remember my statement from the beginning. Remember my statement from the beginning. My statement is that success has no destination. Success is continuation of progress. As you continue to make progress, that is success. There is no stage we will come at now, or we will come at we said we have done all we needed to be done. If we have done all we need to be done, and Biafran is not restored, that means we are exhausted. There is no more to be done. Anybody from Ikwere that says I'm not part of Biafra is actually raising a concern. It should not be crammed down. You should not cram down on him. You should ask the person, bring forward your reasons, bring forward your concern. That is what we need to address. That's why we are calling for Biafran restoration. We need to address the concern of Yoruba man. We want to ensure in this present generation that Yoruba man is happy belonging to a nation, or belonging to a nation.
Now,
we want to ensure.
A lot of people are raising the issue of a referendum in the comment section. Do you think that a referendum also would also help to determine? But before you talk about going into a referendum, I also believe that you also need to reach out to be able to, have this kind of consensus with the people you want to bring into referendum, to see reason to even vote yes in the first place.
Mazi, there is a comment I want to address. Thank you, my beloved brother. He said, Aloy Ezeji. He said, Solo, please don't forget that our leader, Mazin Nandekano, has done the consultation with all ethnic clans in Biafran land. No, there is no argument about it. There is no measure to what Mazin Nandekano has done in the position of leadership of IPOP. But the fact is that in all this effort, we are still struggling to restore Biafra. That is just the truth. If you can say all the job has done, Biafra is not restored. So we continue doing the job, and that is why some of us are sleeping. Some of us are on our bed. Nobody is thinking, nobody is creative. We think that, hey, everything has been done. Everything has not been done. And mark you that in the process, most of the progress that IPOP made, they are also, because it's matter of time. In the tense of time, IPOP has encountered so many breakdown. They have encountered so many obstacles on the way to the progress they have made. And so many of this encounter they have is selling a wrong narrative to some people. And that is why we keep working hard day and night. Yoruba people are, if Yoruba people are coming out, we say we are not consulted. That means we need to continue in that consultation that Mazin Nandekano has already established. You build on idea, expatiate it. Will you say that people, because the type of car that people ride in 80s and 90s, because they ride that car, the car was already ride in 80s, then you will say that new model will not be produced? We continue to advance the cause. Paul said, I have laid the foundation, and others are coming to build on it. So we need to continue to build on that consultation that Mazin Nandekano has done until we eliminate that concern coming from any clan that we are not consulted, until we eliminate that concern. So you should not go to your house and sleep and say Mazin Nandekano has finished the job. We are still working on the job. So if that concern is still coming out, and if an Ikwere man is still standing up and say, we are not part of this, that means that consultation has not been perfected. We will keep building on that consultation, which we are doing today. Every one of us come to join IPOB. And we continue building from where people who are before us stop. We continue building, continue expanding. So you cannot come to a certain place and say this is a success. Success is a progression of the
It's a
continuation.
continuous process.
It's a continual process. Thank you.
Does it mean that even while we are also consulting, the Nigerian government might also be consulting with them, maybe giving them, showing them that they have a better future in Nigeria and all that? So how do you look at that aspect? Yes.
That is exactly what happened during the war. While we are planning and the consulting, Ojukwu was busy consulting everyone for us to declare Biafra. At the same time, we are consulting the people in the rivers to create a state for them, in order to detach them from the plan, from Ojukwu plan,
and also possibly make them believe that they have a better future in Nigeria if eventually they decide to stay back.
Yeah. So now, also to address a chat that came, should we also consult politicians? Listen, if we are talking about Biafra now, we are talking of equal right. On the basis of Nigerian politics, we don't need to consult the politicians to consult them to continue in Nigerian politics. But on the basis of Biafra, everybody has his right. Whether you are a politician, should we say, okay, should we also consult engineers or consult doctors? But you should know that politics is a career. Politics is a career, and they have their human rights also. Everybody needs to be consulted. That is just the truth. And that's what we are doing here. And that is what awareness about Biafra is all about. Whether the one you do on the media or direct or one-to-one to people. That is awareness. Make sure you are creating conversation between you and people around this Biafran project. How it could be better. Because even at the same time, you are trying to show people why this Biafran should be a better position for them. The same time that they are also bringing fake promises to the people to convince them that it's better where you are now. Things can be made right. So if you are not strong enough to be able to make people understand the right way to go, you discover that the other people who are also working in their own awareness to keep the people in the bondage can also have an upper hand. So this is something that has to continue.
A continuous
process. So we need to continue to refine our word, refine our communication, refine our approach, and be disciplined, as Mazen Nnamdi Kanu said. Know where you needed to engage people and expatiate. If you cannot do it, invite who can do it better. We must be intelligent to that very aspect. We must know that it is not enough to say, Irobo, you are involved. Ikwere, you are involved. No, we must do our own job properly. If Yoruba people continue to say we are not consulted, we must regard it as a concern. We must not clamp down on them. We must not say, shut up, you are. No.
You must be
we must deal with that concern.
Because even,
we must deal with it.
And even for you to even convince them to vote in case of referendum, you need to also give them a very good offer that will make them consider going with you into Biafra. Because you cannot just say, okay, referendum will decide. When you have not even been able to do a diligent consultation before referendum. Because I have lived in countries where referendum is being done. Don't forget that before the referendum proper, there is going to be campaign. Even the Nigerian government too is going to campaign telling people that in fact Nigerian government might even come up with the restructuring that people are asking for. Even if the restructuring is fake, to dissuade people from voting yes for Biafra, try to give them a better package and better opportunity in Nigeria. So you see that you have a lot of work. Yes.
The fact is that we don't have interest for the future suffering of Yoruba people. We must be sincere, and we must show our sincerity. Say, he that is coming to equity must come with open hands. We don't have interest like some people who will say, leave them, they will go and suffer. We have no single interest for the future suffering of Yoruba people. We have no interest for the future suffering of Ikwere people. We have no interest on that. All our interest is what addresses the concern of an Ikwere man and the concern of an Yoruba man. That is our major interest. And that is what we are dying for. That is why we are standing up. The problem we have in this agitation is that so many people, they are so reluctant. They felt like somebody have to be the one to do the job. They never find out that they are included. They need to be involved for the job to be done. So we must bear this in mind. If the concern of Ikwere people or concern of Yoruba people keep coming that we have not been consulted, that simply shows that we have not perfected our work. We should find people who will do the job for us. They need to be engaged until we eliminate that very question to the minimum. Until we eliminate it. If we did not eliminate it, that means we are not progressing. We must eliminate it. It must be at a point. It must be in a point where somebody like Wike will come and stand up and say, Ikwere people were not involved, and the Ikwere people we stone him. If we have not done our job to that very point, and somebody who did not represent the people are coming to say we are not involved, and the people are keeping quiet, that means we still have job to do, and we must put our life in line to do that job. We must find people who will do that job for us, who are now, because the Bible said, Jesus said to Peter, when thou art converted, strengthen thy brethren. When thou art converted, strengthen thy brethren. So it's very, very important, and we should know that we still have a lot of job to do. As to regard to restoration of Biafra, we have a lot of job to do, and it is not all about someone else somewhere is doing the job. It's all about your own involvement. How did you process information? Yeah, and how do you engage? Thank you.
Yeah, there is this notion that our people believe that as long as the entire eastern region is concerned, including the River Rhine and all that, that they are all Biafran. So why are they denying it? Why are they asking for consultation when they already know that they are Biafran? But we have a situation in our hand, while even though they know that they are Biafrans naturally, they are telling you that they need also some kind of a table to sit down and negotiate what kind of Biafra you are going to give them. Mazi, is that in your own view?
Thank you, Mazi Pat. In my own view on that, there is a comment that I also wanted to address. Mazi, you have to be calling this comment because people are joining the conversation. Now, he said, some person is saying, if you actually beg these people so much, if you goes to beg them, if you goes too much on them, they will feel like you are begging them. No. You are not getting the point we are discussing here. The point we are discussing is that at the point of no, I know belong, there must be a reason. That is the discussion. The person will state his reasons. You must convince that person on the line of his reason. You must tap into the individual's community client's interest. You must tap into their interest. That is just thing. The people that will do it, all the job will not be on Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. There is people who are skillful into it. It's not people who are coming to talk on the Facebook, or because the person is talking on Facebook, he has to be the one to do the job. There's people who are skillful. There's people who has that nature. There's people who have that peaceful nature, who can actually engage in that background. So we need to see it as a need.
Yes, sorry to have cut you short. I just want us to see how we can rush this program and end it as fast as, because we still have so many things we are going to talk about. Mazi Solomon, there is one other thing we also need to understand, that there are some Igbos too, even Igbos, pure Igbos, who are also talking about not believing in the Biafra, even if they are Igbos. So it's not just the issue of Amo Agege or people in the river right there. There are some Igbos too who are opposed to Biafra. How do we address such people?
We are not against people's opinion. Remember, let it not be that we are forcing a will on a people. Even those people who are around us, who are from the core state they call the southeast regions, who are actually don't agree, or who are saying that Biafran is not there, they don't see the reality of Biafran. Now, we cannot force that will on the people, because somebody in Anambra State, when a referendum is granted, somebody in Anambra State will be allowed to vote to his will. That is just the pure truth. But the fact is this: anybody who says that he is not agreeing with the Biafran cause, you will be asking the person question: how long can you sustain this opinion? How long can you sustain it? Because the reason for wanting Biafran disintegration of Nigeria is very, very obvious. How long will that individual sustain that opinion? That's what we'll be asking, because we have seen people last month who are not of opinion for Biafra, but today they are changing their stand. They are changing their stand. Even some governors in the southeast, they have come to make different utterances. But the same people that are making different utterances, you can see them wobbling today, because they don't have what it takes even to sustain what they are saying against Biafrans. They don't have what it takes to sustain it. That is it at a certain point, it becomes an empty statement. There is no sustainability. There's what we call sustainable practice. If you are doing, or in a medical terms, you are doing something that is not sustainable, you are going to collapse in that very project, in that very opinion. Because how long can you sustain that opinion? So everything that will move them to the position of buying into the ideology of Biafra is very, very obvious. And they are going to get there. That they are not there today does not mean that they will not be there tomorrow. Definitely, they don't have anything to sustain them in the opinion of kicking against Biafra. They don't have anything. All of them in their statement are wobbling.
Beautiful. On that note, let's take the clip of Okezi Bazo.
When you say that they need to be listened to, who are you making reference to? You're talking about the federal government.
Oh yes, everybody. If they have issues with my state government or the way I run government here, and they are agitating against it, I will listen to what they're saying. And the ones I can't do, I'll tell them I can't do it, and tell them why I will not be able to do that.
Have you sat with them? Have you sat with them to listen to them recently?
Oh no, but I make my opinion on all the issues they have raised known, and the ones that are impossible to do, I have. For instance, I don't believe in Biafra through the barrels of the gun, because I saw a little bit of the Civil War, and I don't want that kind of thing, and I don't see the prospects of that venture, and I don't want anything that will be suicidal. But I think that creating a society where everybody has a right to speak, and there is inclusion and participation, and is the kind of mindset I want. If Biafra is for agitation against injustice in any way, that there is Biafra in the heart of many Nigerians. I just read an article. Somebody posted that sometime in Aba, Margaret Ebo was a councillor here. And, and we have had somebody from Kano being the mayor of Enugu. What has happened to this country actually? And why are we not taking steps to build bridges? Rather, we're emphasizing things that divide us, ethnicity, religion, all those things that divide us, rather than things that bring us together. And even the comments you get to hear going forward makes it difficult for people to appreciate the fact that we are one country under one God.
I mean, how easy will it be if you're asking for a dialogue between IPOB and the federal government? The federal government had declared them, prescribed them. So who will organize this? And we're looking at some of the unrest and the agitations. When will this end? How will that dialogue happen if that is what you are advising?
Well, sure. As far as I'm concerned, as far as we are concerned in Abia, there is nothing like IPOP, but we have ESN, and we also hear what the agitations that whatever that is agitating the mind of people. Because you go to the grassroots as a governor and you ask questions. What is the problem? And some of these things are germane. So if it is the remit of the federal government to set up structures to engage Nigerians from all walks of life and hold discussions and conversations, I think that is the way it is done all over the world. If you can prescribe an individual, you can prescribe a group, you can prescribe an organization, but it is difficult to prescribe an ideology.
So let's move away from that. At least 12 INEC offices have been attacked in the southeast state in the past few months. What do you suppose could be responsible for those kind of attacks on an organization or institution that will organize election? There will be election in November in Anambra State, for example.
I said it earlier that what I make out of some of the attacks in the southeast as we see them now can just be the plank is resting on 2 or 3 planks. The first one is to instill fear, to harass and instill fear on across the land. The other one is to collect arms and put all of them together. It is defined by the fact that people are attacking institutions of civil authority. And INEC is one of them. INEC is one of them. The police, the military, the courts, these are institutions of civil authority. And anybody who does that is an enemy of the nation.
Yes, Mazi Solomon, welcome back to the program. I have to let go of this comment. I'll bring it back later by Peter Otuomo. Peter Otuomo made a very, very important comment there, and I'll be bringing it back.
Mazi Pat.
Yes.
I have to address this issue quickly then, because we don't tend to spend long time in this very program. Regard to Okezie Bazu, you can see how Okezie Bazu is wobbling in the question that are being thrown to him. And there's some claim that is also made that is very obvious. That is very obvious to people that this man is lying. He's wobbling. How can he say there is nothing like IPOP as long as he's consigned in Abia State?
But there is
ESN, So what they are just trying to do in their position to detach themselves from making comment about IPOP. They have seen that most of the statement they make that put them into trouble. So everybody is avoiding discussing IPOP. Because when you bring the matter of IPOP on the table, you discover that everything that IPOP has presented, they are valid. He made mention of it, that all the argument of IPOP is very valid and things that needed to be looked into.
He said just a few weeks ago, And today he's not saying there's no IPOB in Abia
Do you
State. Go ahead.
understand? So now we must know that these people that are just trying to cover up in their positions because they know what they could face if they come direct, if they can blow up and say the truth. Everybody, you can see that they are being gripped with fear of what could be happen to them if they eventually can stand up, make
the
a
last
move,
statement.
make the last statement. So they are wobbling. And the position of OKZ as also in this very interview shows you that the state of Nigeria is unsustainable. Unsustainable. They created states, but they don't have the resources in running those states. The governors that is sitting there as OKZ doesn't have the resources that it takes to run a state, to run a good state. He doesn't have it. And all of them, they are just pretending because some of the things that are getting into their pocket, so they feel like, okay, let's just keep this business running. But they know that they are incapacitated. They don't have what it takes to run a state. The resources to run a state is
I
not
think
under their disposal.
sometime in the past, yes, some week have said that the states are like agencies to this. They are like agencies to the federal government. Every month they just go there, collect money, distribute, and they just do the administrative work, pay contractors and all that. There is nothing concrete as in, having that authority to make things happen. Your power as a state governor is highly limited. You are like just an agent.
Yes, Maze, Pat, that is exactly the point I'm making. The authority they feel like they are controlling, there is no power on it. There is no power in the authority. Okay, observe what happened during the sit down, during 31st
Yes.
lockdown. There was totally lockdown, despite their own threat, which they later start wobbling, but people obey. That simply shows that the government has no resources that could bring the people, that could attract the people into government, into the government. Already, the people are seeing them as failures because they don't have the resources to keep people attracted to government. So people are detaching from them because you cannot sustain people who are faced with reality by mere political statement without action. So most of them, they have political statements, but they have no action to back it up. And that is why when they make a promises for you during the campaign, they cannot deliver it because there is no resources to deliver their promises. So we must understand.
Even if they wanted to.
We must understand that the states of Nigeria are ineffective. And that is why we are predicting and telling you Nigeria will collapse. Did you want it to collapse on your head? Then keep arguing with empty words. But the definite thing is that the Nigerians are unsustainable. They don't have that resources that is required to sustain. I'm not talking about oil or money. It doesn't require or it doesn't require the oil or money. But the fact is that the platform, the infrastructure that it required to sustain the present Nigeria is not in place, and they cannot do magic overnight. But they will trying to lobby you into keeping you in that political statement for you to believe that something is going to happen.
That there is hope for the future.
But they only keep you there in order
just to pass
just
time.
finish their own time, to finish
That's
their
true.
own time in the office and be seek for other office where their business will continue.
Let's take the comment of Peter Otuomo. I would like you to address this issue. I'm a Biafran, but I'm not Igbo. My kind, that is his people, are afraid of Igbo dominance, just like the Fulani dominance that we want to leave. Igbos and Yoruba must negotiate and dialogue with the minorities, or God forbid we might fail. Mazi, how do you address the Peter Otuomo comment here?
Yes, Peter Otuomo, your concern is 100% correct. Everybody is allowed to be afraid of things that he can't provide answer for. That is just the truth. But if I will be in a position to address your concern here, I will tell you that what solve this your problem, because this can be real. Igbo can dominate. We can accept it. There's no need of trying to claim, hey, we cannot. You cannot use just mouth to tell people, I cannot dominate you. No, it's going to be indeed. It's going to be by work. The Bible says, by their work you shall know them. So what we are going to do is to follow up this concern. Which people have this very concern? The only thing that will address this very concern is to ensure this person the way that the constitution of Biafra will be structured or will be written, because it's constitutional issue about dominance. When you talk about dominance, it's about constitutional issue. If the constitution provide fairness and the equity for everybody, then where is this your fear? Because why you experiencing it in Nigeria is because the constitution of Nigeria did not provide equity, justice, and fairness. That's why you are being dominated by some other group of people.
By the way, the issue of minority can only exist in Nigeria, in my own opinion.
It's still the same thing, Mazi, we are talking about constitution. It is constitution that will pave way to all these lapses. It is constitution that will pave way into people dominating the other. That is just the truth. If we have a nation that we all belong, we are the member of that nation before answering Irobo, before answering Ikwere, you discover that the issue of dominance will not, the issue of where you come from will not come up. Because there is no fairness, there is no equity. That's why the people will always ask you, who is your father? Who is your mother? Who do you know? Because there is no equity, there is no justice. Nothing is being run under the platform of competence. People are sentimental to their tribes and to this is only happening in Nigeria, and these are things we want to correct. That people from somewhere will not come because of where you are coming from, they will feel that they are superior than you. No. Everything will be wrong. There will be check and balance. It's the constitutional issue and the policy. Even people's business. Are you talking about even business, copyright? The people initiative and idea in Nigeria is not being protected. Somebody will initiate something and tomorrow you are seeing the copy of those things in the market. Because the policies does not work to protect those people's interests and people's business.
It does not guarantee the right of anybody.
You see, so it's because of the policy that we are drawn out of the constitutions. So that is where you find this imbalance of dominance.
Beautiful, Mazi. I think you've taken that answer very politely. This is going to be the last clip, and it's very, very, very important. This clip, we're going to analyze it very fast, and we'll end the program. Let's go, Mazi Solomon. It is an interesting one.
That part away from South Korea, or rather from Korea, breaking to South and North Korea, to the Western and Eastern Germany, to common here, Cameroon, that you have the English and the French part that are trying to go away. You know what is going on. So for anybody to be calling for war, or you think you can just separate, it's not easy. I believe in Nigeria. I believe Nigeria will continue to exist. Whether we like it or not, there is a problem. We need to discuss the problem. We are disagreeing with ourselves, and we have every reason to disagree. The North, before now, is saying we don't believe in separation. But as I'm standing, I'm telling you that if there's going to be separation tomorrow, the North is ready for it. We are also ready. Let's go our either ways. And I'm telling you this with all sincerity. Northern Nigeria before now do not want to hear anything separation. But as of today, as I speak to you, the North is equally ready to leave. That is number one. Number two, talking about presidency, what I'm going to say might be controversial. You might disagree with it, but it's the absolute reality, and I'm speaking the mind of Northerners. And I have no apology to anybody in this hall on what I'm going to say, though I respect the leaders, elders, and fathers that are here. I duly respect them. But I have no apology to anybody on what I'm going to say. Let's please be serious. We are here for a serious business. Let us not make it a discussion floor if we truly want to do this. Now, talking about rotational presidency, what I thought we should be looking at is credibility, competency, patriotism, nationalistic thinking, the love for one another, and things like that. That is what I thought should constitute who becomes Nigeria's president. Not regional, tribal, ethnical, or any other thing. Please disagree with me, but I will speak. This is why we are here. This is why we are here. Good. Let us discuss the controversy and let us find a solution to the problem.
Please allow him. Somebody has his opinion. You have your opinion.
This is why we are here. If you disagree with me, come up and give your position. This is my position. This is the position of Northern Nigeria. So if you disagree, make your position known. Now, let us look at competency, credibility, patriotism, the love for the country to move Nigeria forward. Yes, we should there should be a room for discussion. Call it national conference, call it restructuring, call it whatever. I agree that we should come to a round table and discuss Nigeria and discuss the way forward for Nigeria. I agree that we are disagreeing. I agree that there's a problem. I agree that there is, if you like, call it lopsided appointment. I am not in government, so I don't speak for the government. I speak for North. I don't speak for Buhari. If Buhari is doing something wrong, Nigeria should call his attention that what he's doing is wrong. He should correct it. He's a Nigerian. He's a leader. He's elected by every Nigerian. But not a particular tribe or region be seen as a threat to a country. If one region or tribe or religion is a threat to this country, then all of us are threatening Nigeria, and we are all threat to Nigeria. Then let us come and discuss the problem, find the solution to the problem, and let's move forward as Nigeria.
Yeah, Mazi Solomon, we've heard him, and I would like you to give your take on that.
Okay, thank you so much, Mazipat. And we will find it also possible to close on this very particular one. So I want you to understand what is playing out here. What is actually playing out here is that the situation of Nigeria now, we must understand, despite that the Fulani hijacked the power and they are playing with the power at the center, it has not also been fair to them. It has not also been fair to them. Why is not fair to them is because they are investing into their agenda and is not progressing. Is a frustration time for all of them. They are investing heavily. Do you know what Buhari has invested into the agendas of the Fulani and the Islamization of Nigeria, and is not yielding fruit? Imagine when you are investing into a project, and that project is not making progress. It's a frustration. So their frustration is bringing them out into making some statement. They are ready to separate from Nigeria. That is a result of the frustration that they are facing for not being able to make progress in their own project, because Mazi Nnamdi Kanu was born, because IPOP was born. So it is a whole lot of frustration. So whether they choose to discuss the state of Nigeria now or not, we are not ready to give up. We are not ready to give up the pursuit for restoration of Biafra. And it's sinking deep into their heart. It's sinking deep into their head. And that is why you see this man making this statement that he's making. It is born out of the frustration that they are also facing, because their plans are not working out. Because there is Radio Biafra, there is Nnamdi Kanu, There is ESN. So there is a whole lot of frustration in their camp. And what we pray is that their frustration will lead them into ensuring that Biafra live, ensuring that Nigeria disintegrates. You will hear more of this in the upcoming days because the frustration is very obvious. It's a project that Fulani has invested heavily, but the result they are getting right now is not helpful to them. The result, because every of their plan has been debunked by Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. And that is why some of us vow that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu must continue speaking, that Radio Biafra must continue speaking, because that is the only way that we have been able to see a little space in our land. That is the only way we have been able to feel a little secured in our land now. And on this note, I must say thank you so much for Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. He always said that I can't say no. Their frustration will bring them out. They will begin to make some certain utterances out of frustration because it's also hitting them up. So if you are here in IPOP contributing to ESN or to IPOP movement or supporting Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, never you think that you are there is no sense in your madness. There is sense in our madness. It's hitting them hard. You are busy just saying, hey, they have killed also, but it's also killing them. They are also killing themselves. They are dying inside. The frustration is very high. Your contribution, you die, you didn't die in vain. You suffer, you didn't suffer in vain. Those lines you tore that brought you into the suffering you are facing right now, that makes you remain formidable. Thank you so much, Henry. That makes you formidable. Is hitting them hard. Is hitting them hard. They are losing control. They themselves, they are also frustrated because they invested heavily, but yet the outcome is not fair to them.
Solomon,
is speaking.
Solomon, why is it that every time the Northerners come to speak, they disassociate themselves from the Buhari administration?
Do you know why? They must divide. All these things, sometimes I bring teaching from the Bible. Ask me, what make Jacob to divide his family into two? These are strategies, my brother. These are strategies. What he's talking might not be coming from his heart of heart, but he felt like what Nigerians are being fed with is the talk. They don't need action. All you need is to come and talk. And the people will be thinking, every analysis that people make in the face, is it not based on what people said? Have they made the analysis based on the action on the ground? Those are just strategies. He can come openly and talk against Buhari, but secretly he's a full supporter of whatever position that Buhari is taking, as long as it's towards the pushing of the agendas of the Fulanis and the Islamization of Nigeria. That is just the pure fact. So we should not be calculating on those facts, on those statements they make outside. We should be taking the fact on the ground through proper investigation. Because people these days, they said what their heart did not believe. And their heart also believe what their mouth is not saying. So there must be proper investigation. Because he said it, you should not rise and say, hey, he's against Buhari. That is a typical lie. If you fall for that cheap lie, you are gone. You are gone. They are together. But they are looking on a way in which they can advance this very battle that they are already losing. They are looking for a way to tremble Nigerians. And they keep them into believing that there will be something that can happen that can address what Nigerians are facing. This is what they are doing. If Ariwas are ready to go, what are they waiting for? Why did they still exist in Nigeria up to today? They should opt out. By the way, all the money that need to be stolen, they have already stole those money.
And even stolen the one for the future.
So, Mazi, I am not falling for this cheap talk of this man. They will come with that devices. Check Bible, read Bible, and say, what was the intention of Jacob for dividing his family into two when he's meeting Esau? He divided them because this is the means in which he wanted to defeat Esau, if in case Esau is coming after him. So that when Esau started tackling the first family, he will escape with the other one. All these things are conny trips. All these things are conny trips. And it is in their plan. And they knows it very well. And we keep discussing about the takia. All these are strategies. We cannot fall to that their sheep comments. They are not addressing Biafra. They are addressing one Nigerianist. They are addressing the fools and the idiots, baboons that fooled Nigeria. They are not addressing people like us. So that is my own analysis. I'm sorry that I'm saying this, and I'm very, very serious. I just wanted our eyes to be open and make us facing the reality. We must remain consistent. They are not comfortable. Your contribution is actually putting fire, because you are spoiling their agendas and their plan by belonging to IPOP, by supporting IPOP, by supporting ESN. Their plans is bust. They are no more making progress. And this is bringing a lot of frustration. And the more, it will come to a point where you will see them, they will start killing themselves and start disagreeing themselves. Because once you are losing, like it happened to Biafra, once you are losing a battle, then you will be portioning blame.
There is some more pressure. There will be some more pressure.
There will be portion of blame. Like as we have seen it happen several times in IPOP, when they spoil our plan, there will be portion of blame. People will come, and the Kanu is the cause. He caused the death of our people. Because at that time, if Biafran had been restored in the hour before the time that thing happened, everybody will be coming, hey, he is our savior, he is our savior, because we countered that single setback. People will start portioning blame. They want to say, so is Solomon Peter, you are the cause because of the things you are coming to say here. You are the cause. Pat, you are the one. You come to run this very program. You are the cause of this. You start portioning blame. But winners don't portion blame. What winners done is that the next thing that is left for you, tishaja, and they continue walking. That is how the winners win. You can never portion blame. Everything that happened to make you more refined, more better. Learn your lesson from any downfall or from any obstacles that you encounter in your journey. Learn how not to repeat the same thing or reinforce that failure. And the person that manufactured a bulb, electricity, said, I tried 99 times. And people said, you failed 99 times. He said, I did not fail. I only discovered 99 ways in which electricity cannot be, in which bulb cannot be manufactured.
Manufactured, yeah.
So you must know, these people, when they face this kind of setback that Fulanis and Northerners, because they include all the Northerners in their mess, when they encounter these failures that they are encountering because of their evil agenda, they start portioning blames. And this blame, because they don't have the Spirit of God that can give them direction, at the end of the day, when they got exhausted and the British are no more giving them any idea. By the way, it is the idea of British they are using. If no more idea come, they will start portioning blame, and it will lead to them killing themselves. That's why you see all this crisis in the north. Is as a result of portioning blames. They are fighting and killing themselves. Mazi, on this note, I will come to the end of this very program, and I wish to come back here whenever you choose to bring me. My name remains Solomon Peter. Thank you so much for making me part of this program.
Thank you very much again. Thank you. Fellow Biafrans, I want to say thank you for spending over 1 hour 30 minutes with us, and I'll be seeing you guys in the next coming hour, possibly tomorrow. Stay tight. Somebody said that there is fear in Omar here. Please make sure that you are guided. Make sure that you secure your environment. Make sure that you save yourself from danger. Until we see again, I want to say, have a wonderful night and God bless you all.
Been doing, and also to thank my dear brother Mazi, who is there, and my very dear brother Dele also. I've been following these proceedings intermittently for the past 4.5 hours or thereabouts. I've been caught up in a few things, as you can imagine. A lot is happening back home. But there is something that this year's event has brought to light. It is the camaraderie and unity of purpose amongst the people of the South, and to an extent those of us in the Middle Belt as well. And we must continue on this very plane until we all get what we are asking for. I have not come across any individual who is against freedom. Therefore, what we are asking for as a result of this very important occasion is that we must move forward together as one people, as an indivisible force, in order for us to demand what rightfully belongs to us, which is freedom. Today is a very critical day in the history of our people. We are remembering those who were slaughtered and massacred unjustly by the Nigerian government, and of course, by extension, the British government as well. We are remembering those who died as a result of the unofficial Third World War that took place in our land nearly 54 years ago. And as a result of that, this very day, as we renew this pledge every blessed year, we have sworn to forever remember these people. We must remember them because the Jews do the same. All over the world, people remember their dead. In Rwanda, the same thing happens. And I don't know why there is this, should I say, conspiracy of silence to try to sweep this very important event in our history under the carpet. We lost over 5 million people, the second worst genocide in the history of man, only second to the Jewish Holocaust in Europe. And for some inexplicable reason, the world has decided to keep silence over this very matter. But we are not going to keep silence, not at all. Not now, not tomorrow, not ever. We are going to vigorously and relentlessly pursue this very effort to recognize the genocide that was committed against Biafran people, without apologies to anyone. It is a very good thing that before we came on air, I think the Ebonyi State government have now rescinded the threat they issued to all those who were intending to stay at home tomorrow. That is also commendable. It is not very often that I commend people, but I must say that I also commend Governor Willie Obiano, which I don't do very often, for the very critical work that he did today by laying a wreath at the cenotaph that he built for those that fell, for those that made it possible for us to remain alive this very day. I must say this to our people, those who are living, that it is because of the sacrifice of those brave men and women that is the singular reason why we are not suffering the same fate as those of them from the Middle Belt, and to a very limited extent, those of our brothers and brethren from Ududuwa Republic. Why am I saying this? It is only in our land today that we do not have any significant presence of Fulani terrorist organizations in our bushes or in our forests. And why is that the case? Because our fathers taught us how to fight. They fought for Biafra, unaided, unassisted, for over 3 years. We fought the two strongest major powers in the world as at that time, the USSR and Great Britain. Egypt fought against us. The OAU was against us, with the exception of the likes of Julius Nyerere and Wilfred Bernard of Cote d'Ivoire. We suffered immeasurably. And now, like then, Israel was under attack and they couldn't provide any meaningful help. But we survived it. Not out of our own might, not out of our own power. We survived it because God Almighty in heaven was with us. And this generation have now come to complete the work that those of them of 67 to 1970 started. And we are not going to stop. I want the world to understand me very clearly. We are not going to stop. It doesn't matter what it takes. It doesn't matter how many lives they extinguish. It doesn't matter the genocidal tendencies they bring with them into our land. We are not going to stop. Everybody listening, everybody watching, everybody remotely interested in justice and peace must understand this. Our destination is freedom, and that very place we're heading to is Biafra. And nobody, no soul on this earth can stop us. Instead of Biafra not to come, we all perish. I want our adversaries, our enemies to understand this very, very clearly. We are not going to retreat, not one iota, not 1 inch, because Biafra must come. Because the hatred that continues to this very day, as I'm speaking and addressing all of you right now, they are still arresting extrajudicially murdering people in our land, people who are alien to our culture, our way of life, our tradition. They are in our land directing their people to slaughter, to kill without mercy. Unfortunately, those we regard as political leaders have connived with these people to ensure the decimation of their own population. That is the type of nonsense we can no longer condone. As you all know, there is no significant Fulani presence in our land because our fathers taught us how to fight. And we are doing so today without apologies to any idiot. We are not going to apologize because we have been apologizing for nearly 50 years. And we have not gotten anywhere in terms of our collective advancement and development in the damnable zoological republic called Nigeria. That is why we must know what we're doing, and that is why anybody who is remotely interested in the affairs of our people must understand this, that we are determined, doubly determined. 50 years, or should I say 54 years, is a very long time, and 51 years since the end of the war. But now that we have come, or should I say now that God Almighty in heaven has them that we should come, we are not going to relent. We are not going to do anything whatsoever to jeopardize the sanctity and the holiness of this very mission. We love our people. We love every ethnic nationality that makes up Nigeria as it is presently constituted. We have no hatred towards anybody. We love peace. We love life. We love the progress of other people. But we are in a country where people hate us for no reason, where people despise us for no reason, and we can no longer go on apologizing. And Nigeria as a state, the entire Africa as a continent must acknowledge. The same way they acknowledge the genocide in Rwanda, they must rise up to acknowledge the genocide in Biafra land, or else there will be no peace nor development in the whole of Africa. And I'm not saying it apologetically. I am stating a fact that ought to be forcefully demanded for. And Biafra itself must be restored for those who have come before us, for their sacrifice, for their courage, for their gallantry and their bravery. It is a very good thing today that one of the co-hosts here is our brother Dele, a man that I cherish and I appreciate very much. And also the very excellent work that Mazi is doing. But let us make this thing very, very clear. We were wronged by the Nigerian state, by every ethnic group in Nigeria. I know that my good friend and brother, Obadiah Mailafia, rang me and apologized a while ago for the role that they played in the massacre of Biafran people, the role that they played in aiding and abating a very unlawful invasion of Biafra land, because all Ojukwu asked for was restructuring. The same thing we are arguing for today. Ojukwu went to Aburi to argue for restructuring. Ojukwu did not go to Aburi to declare any state of Biafra. He never went to Aburi to declare any war. Ojukwu went to Aburi so that all of us in Nigeria, including those from the Middle Belt, from the West, everywhere can have freedom. The same thing we're asking for today. They twisted the narrative. They changed our history. They turned it upside down. They made us the villain. They tried to demonize our general, a man of peace, that went to Aburi in Accra to go and in Ghana to go and negotiate for peace. A peace that Britain prevailed upon go on, not to implement. But over the years, we've been taught that we are the aggressors. Such nonsense can no longer hold, it can no longer obtain, and that is why, as I said earlier, unapologetically, we are pursuing the freedom of Biafra, and nobody can stop us. Anybody on our path is going to fall, is going to die. Instead of Biafra not to come, every living organism in Nigeria will die, I swear to God Almighty in heaven, because we are not going back. It is a good thing today that some notable Nigerians are on this very platform discussing what transpired 54 years ago. Most have tweeted to say, may it not happen again. A free, sovereign Biafran nation. That is the only panacea, nothing more, nothing less. Before we came here, Ladipo Market was on fire. These vandals and vagabonds are now killing people relentlessly. As I'm talking to you right now, they headed some people from Enugu to God knows where, maybe to go and kill them. And you have governors, you have political leaders, you have those who aspire to high office. They are all there. Nobody's talking, nobody's speaking, because they have a lot to benefit and to gain by us being Fulani slaves. Something that can no longer continue. Something we are not prepared to tolerate. That was something I said rather very fortuitously very many years ago. I said during one of my broadcasts on Radio Biafra that for Nigerians to understand that God is obsessed with them, that every tribe in Nigeria, every ethnic group in Nigeria will experience what we passed through during the Biafran War. That they too will also become refugees. And today, there are IDP camps everywhere. People that thought they were safe before now are fleeing their homes. It's something that happened to us between 1967 and 1970. And that is why our appreciation and our thanks for those men and women that fought to keep us safe can never, ever, ever be overestimated. We will continue to appreciate them. We shall continue to honor them. And I thank all of, those who are non-Biafrans. I understand that some people who are Biafrans came on this very platform and trying to play the script of their masters. That same divide and rule by saying there is something called Southeast and South-South. All bunkum. I have said it many times on many fora, on many platforms, that everybody in the East, we are all one people. I don't understand why people are hung up about this divide and rule of Gowon. It was Gowon that created Cross River State. Gowon created River State. Not because he loves the people of the South, not at all, but because he wanted to divide us. And we must rise up. We must rise up to the game of these people and say no to them. Now that Yoruba and Igbo are one, do you see them trying to play that game anymore? Now that Biafra and Oduduwa are one and inseparable, bonded together in one, do you see them playing their stupid games? I don't know why some people will come and say they're from Nigeria, they're from South-South, in order to perpetuate that very division which the Fulanis have cleverly exploited over very many decades and many years. I don't know when we are going to learn. And the sooner we learn, the better for us. I thank all of you once again. And this very effort to recognize the genocide against Biafrans continues until the United Nations and the whole world rise up to this very challenge and acknowledge that a great deal of injustice was done to Biafrans. Tomorrow is our at home. Complete and utter lockdown everywhere. And as I said earlier, I do commend the governors for coming out and saying that civil servants should not come or should not turn up to work tomorrow. It's a very good thing. We must all be bound together in order to ensure that Nigeria, first of all, takes the blame for what they did, and secondly, that the whole world will rise up to the obligation to the oppressed people and do the very right thing. Once again, I thank you all very much, and my very special thanks to Professor Ejiofor for the very wonderful and sterling work that you're doing, you and your team. Thank you very much. And may Chukwu Gabe and be with us.